Husband Angel, yes, yes. There you go. You guys have killed it, man. So for today's class, we're going to switch gears a little bit to a lot. This is a Black Lives Matter workshop, and I wanted to come today with a piece that's really going to address that head on. And I'm asking that we all go on this journey together and be real with each other about the issues that we're here to support. Does that make sense? I want to start off by making something very real for all of us here. And in order to do that, I need everybody to close their eyes. Now, I'm asking you to close your eyes because I want your other senses to take over. And I want your mind and your body and your soul to really do nothing but hear my words, because that's all that matters in this class. People are being killed. People are losing their lives in ways that the system is not allowed to do. A 14-year-old boy on his way home to see his dad after going to a corner store to get some Skittles is followed by a man. The man calls 911 because he has no idea why this kid is in his neighborhood. He describes him as an adult male. This boy is 14 years old. The 911 dispatcher tells him to back off. Give the description, leave the scene. He doesn't. This boy's name was Trayvon Martin. And after not obeying the 911 dispatcher's call to leave this boy alone, and he lost his life. 12-year-old boy playing in a park with a toy gun. 911 is called on him as an adult male is in the park with a gun. A police officer shows up with a squad car, enters the park with the squad car, and within 6 seconds of making contact with this child, his name was Tamir Rice. Walter Scott was apprehended by police for suspicions of God knows what. And because he knew he did nothing wrong and was so terrified of police presence, he ran away. As a police officer in that moment, you are not in danger from somebody that is running away from you. And for whatever reason, this police officer felt the right to take him down in cold blood. This is not a drill. These are the lives of human beings. And if the system deems them to be criminals, they should be tried and prosecuted. And instead, every single time, without due process, without questioning, and when people are so fed up that they take to the streets to say, we believe this is wrong, that our lives matter. Officers that are there to protect and serve the people show up in riot gear, face these protesters, Does it feel real yet?
Does it feel serious yet? These stories that I just told you are absolutely overwhelming. And I'm here to assure you and tell you that yes, you cannot do anything about that. That is way too great for any single one of us to tackle. And that's why what we're asking you to do instead is start dialogue and conversation. Because one by one, as we remove the biases and the racism and the ways that the society looks at us differently, we can avoid deep breath in. Let it out. We have to tackle the system, but first we have to heal. Deep breath in. Let it out. We are all so angry. As a virus took over our planet, they issued a state of emergency. I say we've been in a state of emergency since 1619 when the first slaves arrived to North America. I say we've been in a state of emergency since we lost 100 black lives just last year in North America alone. Before you talk to me about a state of emergency for something that came from nature that we cannot control, where is the state of emergency for things we can? Avoid that. Do you hear me? Do you hear me? The struggle that this community is undergoing, the struggle that Black community is undergoing, the struggle that our Indigenous brothers and sisters are undergoing, the struggle that people of color are undergoing, this did not start last week. If you finally feel it now, that's the system we're talking about, that has allowed us to stay silent for this long. We are all here for the most part to support the cause, but really and truly, what brings you here is a love for a particular culture. Hip-hop culture, Black culture. A culture that was founded and created not because it was cool, not because of swag, in order to survive, in order to be heard, in order to speak to each other and communicate in so many different ways because your own voice was clearly not doing the trick. People your age, in South Bronx, New York in the 60s and 70s, this is all they had. We get to do it in this room, fortunately, with mirrors. They did it in the streets, hoping not to be harassed. Hip-hop was the answer. I say that because it is through hip-hop that you started listening. It is through hip-hop that you started to care about a particular culture that may not have been your own. And all the things that the culture has brought you as a dancer, as an artist, you owe it to that culture beyond today. You owe it to that culture to have those awkward conversations with your family. Because it did so much for you. Deep breath in. Let it go. Last deep breath in. Let it go. to take this moment for a moment of silence for every single person we've lost unjustly. A moment of silence for those that we will continue to lose until this ends. Starting now. I want you to take a final deep breath in, and as you exhale, open your eyes. Look at somebody next to you and smile at them if you're not wearing a mask. I want to thank you for going on that journey with me. I want to thank you for listening. And I want to thank you for being here. Before we begin and get up on our feet and dance, I want to play the song. And I'm going to ask you to maybe close your eyes again while you listen to the song, because once again, I want you to listen to the lyrics and what he is saying, how he is saying it, and every nook and cranny of this music in order to understand exactly, remind ourselves exactly why we are here. Can we do that?
Yes, sir.